Hey guys, it's me, the Connector. Today we will be covering Parrot's new video, 100 Days as King of the Unstable SMP. This video is presented and promised as a good start to the future of the unstable SMP, but in reality, it may be the beginning of a much darker end. First of all, what do I mean by a darker end? In order to explain that, I need to provide some context. In Parrot's video, he makes a promise that for the next 33 hours, or 100 Minecraft days, he will make Spawn a better place, ensuring that more players survive. If he fails, he will resign as king. For the majority of the episode, we see a natural distaste toward Parrot for ruining the server, but Parrot does not understand why. Yes, Parrot was forcefully elected king, which upset a lot of people, but even after helping players and making Spawn safer, he is still treated negatively. So why is that? I believe I found the answer. Think about the server's history. First, we had the Mafia, who drained resources at least thousands of blocks out, forcing players to travel farther and farther to survive and get resources. Then we had the Law, who consumed even more resources while enforcing control. On top of that, we have players like Clown who have gate-kept valuable resources in the Nether. So why does this matter? Because the server has had a supply and demand problem from the very beginning. For those who don't know, supply and demand means that when there is a high supply of something, demand is low because there is plenty to go around. But when supply is low, demand becomes high because many people want something that is scarce. We have already seen the effects of this during the King's arc. But when Parrot made Spawn safe, he may have unintentionally made the problem worse. Parrot mentioned that only 1 out of 100 players makes it out alive from Spawn, and hundreds of players are constantly joining. So think about this. When Parrot made Spawn safe, he allowed hundreds more new players to survive, but the server was already struggling with limited resources. That means more survivors equals more demand, without increasing supply. This creates a bigger issue. When a server has too many players and not enough resources to support them, people become desperate. When people become desperate, they form groups. When groups form, conflict increases. More conflict leads to more violence. More violence makes the server worse overall. Maybe the dangerous Spawn wasn't just chaos, maybe it was unintentionally keeping the server balanced. If you think about it, that could explain why Lettuce didn't fully try to save Spawn. In fact, in Wembu's video, Minecraft Pro vs 1000 players, at timestamp 4352, it's mentioned that the Law Guards are killing new players.
Right. Yo, pro up. Okay, they're all potting up. There's a whole fresh Law army here, dog. Wait, they're just killing the naked players at spawn. What the? That's evil.
That line is important. If Lettuce allowed hundreds or thousands of new players to survive, his kingdom could have been starved of resources. Too many players would mean too little supply. Eventually, groups would form and rise up against him. We also see Parrot and Theo discussing why players spawn withers at spawn. From what we can see, maybe it wasn't just for fun. Maybe it was an attempt to control population growth and preserve what little resources remained. Parrot believes he is helping the server, but from another perspective, he may be accelerating its collapse. We even see this mindset when he drains all the money from the shop owner and assumes the shop owner is upset over nothing. Parrot doesn't realize the larger economic consequences of his actions. On top of that, Parrot promised 100,000 diamonds to Merchant City. That kind of promise creates even more tension and economic imbalance, which could contribute to his downfall. When Lettuce said the server was too late to save the server, maybe he meant that the server's growing popularity would eventually bring in too many players and not enough resources.
Why do people still not like me? From the moment I gave my coronation speech in front of all of those people, I got booed. I saved Spawn, and for some reason they still don't like me. Like, obviously it seems like the new players who spawned in seem to support me, but definitely not most of the old ones. Why is that?
I mean, I'm nothing but your prisoner right now. Why would I know?
Right before we locked you in here, you said that the server was unrepairable.
Not like it really matters. The server is too far gone now. I tried to warn you, Parrot.
Does that have something to do with this?
Who knows?
Lettuce, you are actually pathetic.
The server could collapse under its own weight. We also know that there can be hundreds or thousands of players online at any given moment, but we haven't been told an exact number. We know that the server can hold at least 1,000 plus, but we don't know the exact number. Now, for the last part of this video, I want to do something a little different. So far, we've seen a lot of information about how many players are joining Unstable, so I decided to calculate it. First, we know that for every 100 players who join in a week, only one survives. I checked a clip that was 1 minute and 20 seconds long, and we witnessed 16 joins within 80 seconds. That equals about 12 joins per minute. I repeated this process with 3 other clips and gathered similar results. However, to get the most accurate data, we will use Parrot's newest video. In that video, we see 84 joins and 71 deaths in 1 minute. If we scale that to an hour, that equals 5,040 joins and 4,260 deaths per hour, if assuming a consistent rate of joining, though this could fluctuate, but we are going with a consistent rate as of now. Subtracting deaths from joins leaves 780 surviving players per hour. But since only 1 out of every 100 survives long-term, that equals about 7 players per hour who make it out alive, or roughly 168 players per day. That means in one single day, there would be approximately 120,960 joins and 102,240 deaths. Now here's the key part. Parrot removed the immediate death factor at spawn. That means instead of 1 out of 100 surviving, potentially all 120,960 players per day could survive. That is an insane number. Now we can better understand why Lettuce may have been trying to prevent this outcome. Servers are not built to sustain millions of players without consequence. Resource strain, economic collapse, and an apocalypse-type world could become inevitable. It's possible that, in a strange way, but we'll have to wait and see what happens next. I have a few predictions on what may happen next. Due to the recent events with Parrot letting in tons of new players, the new players will be supportive of Parrot, while the old players will be against Parrot. Parrot will try to possibly search for more ways to give to the poor, to feed his ambitions as king. Maybe Spoke will use hundreds of these new players for his army people have been theorizing about, or maybe this is all just a owl theory. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot if you subscribed. I had a lot of fun making this one. Also, make sure to join Unstable Analysis, the biggest theory community server you can find. We have loads of theories to talk about, and our own wiki with in-depth detail to help out fellow theorists. We also own our own Minecraft server and do weekly events on the Stable Events server. So if you're down to join us, come on over. Anyways, it's been me, the Connector. Now disconnecting.